All right, so we're going to move on into Unit 3, which is going to deal with states of matter. And Section 1 of Unit 3, which is learning targets 1 through 3, is going to deal with matter and energy. So we're going to talk about kinetic energy and how temperature can affect energy and what the particles are doing based off the energy levels. So the kinetic theory of matter. So the kinetic theory. Matter is made up of atoms, you understand that, and molecules. The atoms and molecules act like tiny particles. They are always in motion. Okay? All matter, including solids, have energy within them and which causes their particles to move consistently. So the higher the temperature of a substance, the faster the particles move. Higher temperature means there's more energy available. And the most common form of energy in the natural world is heat. So you increase heat, you're increasing the amount of energy around the particles, which makes them move faster. The larger the particle, the slower it moves, and that makes sense. The larger the particle, the slower it's going to move. Excuse the bell. So classifying matter. Matter is classified based on whether the shape and volume are definite or variable. So there it says, what does this mean? Well, if it's solid, okay, then it's going to have a definite shape and volume, okay? If it's a liquid, it's probably not going to have a definite shape, but it will have a definite volume. If it's a gas, then it's going to be variable shape and variable volume. So this is a very important table that we're going to go through. I'm going to go ahead and put all three of the sections up. And again, like the last table we talked about, you need to know this table. Okay, so if you need to pause the video and put this table in your notes, please do so. So solids have a definite shape and definite volume. The structure is rigid, and the particles cannot easily change position. It's held together by strong attractions, and the only movement is vibrations. And we do the example in class where you put your hand on one end of the desk and I hit the other end of the desk and you can feel vibrations. So those particles are still moving, they're just held in a very rigid structure. Liquids, the shape changes, but the volumes does not. This takes the shape of their containers. Liquids also flow freely, and the particles move fast enough to overcome attraction. Particles are close together and they're close in contact with each other, but that attraction or that contact can be broken. And last is gas. Gases change shape and volume. Particles move fast enough to break away from each other. The amount of empty space in between particles is large. Okay, there's a lot of empty space between gas particles. Gases expand to fill the space that they are in. And it's important to know that. So if we're talking about the level of energy, gases have the highest level of energy in its particles, and solids have the lowest level of energy in the particles, which means liquids have the medium amount of energy in their particles. So plasma. Plasma is the most common state of matter. 99% of known matter is plasma. What is plasma? Well, plasma is a state of matter that consists of free moving ions and electrons. Plasma can conduct electric current. So not only do we have examples of plasma here on Earth, you know, the sun's plasma, stars plasma, all those different types of matters plasma. We're going to do some things in class and virtually that will dive further into plasma. Energy's role in matter. So the best definition of energy is the ability to do work. So kinetic energy is the energy of motion. So matter is always in motion, therefore all matter has kinetic energy. Okay, those are two very important vocab terms, and we need to understand what kinetic energy means. So we can measure kinetic energy. So temperature is a measurement of the kinetic energy in the particles of an object. More kinetic energy means the particles will, or the object will have a higher temperature. So the faster the particles move, the more friction that is going to be produced, which increase the temperature of that particular object. So more kinetic energy equals a higher temperature. And that'll be where we stop for section 1. Be sure you complete the video form and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.